Hi everyone, welcome to Tales from the Pot, the December the 12th edition, 2021. So in our last video we demoulded some new things that we had. This Math Rocks thing here, which you can now see I've painted up. We've got a new key ring, which is significantly thinner than the other one that we have. Still looks pretty cool though. It's a slightly different style. But I quite like that. Also some, I'd say they were earrings. These are quite cute as well. Probably not painted in the right colour, but there we go. We've got some little candle skeleton people. You can see the little people there. They are lighting the candles or just having a party, possibly. And then we have the little skulls with the hats on, which I've now painted up as well. And a whole bunch of these things, which, as you can see, have got various different things, and the little heads and stuff. Because the mould is so small, I couldn't see which way around this guy was, so his beard is actually pink. But hey ho, I don't think he minds too much. And yeah, there's eyeballs in there, and a little eyeball on the tree, and then that's a evil looking pumpkin man thing. But they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. They've come out pretty nice. So we're going to demould some things like this again today, but I just wanted to quickly show you first what I've been using from a sanding and refining technique. So over here we have some regular wet and dry sandpaper. This is a 600 grit, because it's actually quite worn down now, just to get the edges off and just rough up that surface. And then been able to get hold of some Zoner papers, which you use from the green through till the white up here, and these are like polishing papers. They are abrasive and less abrasive as you go in, more in the polishing. And this little thing, now this little thing here, it does indeed fit in the palm of your hand. It really is that small. Somebody I know on Twitter that I've been following, I've been chatting with, and she uses one of these for polishing dice. Now, I have some problems with my thumbs here to quervines. It gets quite painful. Aside from all the other stuff, you don't really need that as well. So, if you get a very small part of this, you can actually, because these are wet and dry as well, you can actually stick it kind of on there, just with water, to the thing. And you plug it in, and it's got a little control here, and a box so you can turn it up and down. And actually, it kind of sticks itself there. So, rather than doing this manually on here, dunking it in the water and doing it again, you can actually kind of hold your dice and move it backwards and forwards, being careful that you don't get stuck in these little rungs. But there is enough space there and in the middle to apply enough abrasiveness to it that as the dice is kind of, you're holding the dice. So it's still pushing against my thumb a little bit, but nowhere near as much. And I've sanded and refined some of the dice that I've been working on. These are not completed. These are up to the pink Zoner paper that you can see there. Let's see. You can kind of see how far they've got. So that would have taken me significantly longer if I was doing these just by hand, and a lot more pain. But you can kind of see there. It's difficult actually because of the inclusions inside. But I can assure you there is still some scratches. You can see kind of on the top of the 6 there to come out. But they are on their way to being done. But I found this quite good so far. We've only used it for like a day really, and it's actually a mini pottery one. Now they had a bunch of different ones like this on Amazon. They were about £20 thereabouts. I think it's going to be a good investment, if I'm honest. I gather a lot of people use a mini pottery wheel of sorts. Some people actually stick the Zoner papers down, but because they're wet and dry, they actually kind of stick themselves. So we will see how that goes. I'll leave you a link to this in the description. So if you want to try and get yourself some. In the UK, getting Zoner paper is slightly more tricky. They do it on Amazon. I believe it probably comes from the States anyway. But there are various other places that you can get it. I imagine if you really went hunting, some other places might do it too. But actually, they work pretty well with this. So I've got some more on order. but they have been taking quite a lot of the strain out of polishing and sanding and stuff anyway. I have some slightly harsher sandpaper than this. I've also got up to 1,000, which it still has its uses. I wouldn't say they're redundant necessarily. I think it just depends on the project piece that you're doing, but for dice I find the 600 works pretty good, and then I move on to the zoners, depending on how much of a mess of the dice I've made whilst casting it, of course. And now for the fun stuff, to find out what's in the pot. Now, last time we tried some of this ice flake mix. Still don't know where this came from. My mum's not well enough to ask where she got it from, and I don't think she'd remember anyway. This Polar White is it says it's made in the UK, but I reckon you could get very different variations. So this is called Flower Soft, and there are many different variations of this for various different crafts. You can use this for, I suppose, basing mini models on, or putting cards or whatever. And then this stuff, you've probably got some of this around the house right now, unless you're us, in which case it's in a box being put into dice. I put some of this in a dice last time, and I like the effect so much I wanted to try it again. Now, I asked my friend what this stuff was called, and he said, "Isn't that just tinsel?" I guess it is. I don't think it's called Craft Creative Pastel Bows for sure. I think it just ended up in this box for whatever reason. But this particular stuff, I'm pretty sure you can probably get fairly readily this month particularly. So we tried to put some more of that in some dice, and we'll see how that comes out. So, as you know, we don't get to look at the dice first. Never, never, never. No, we always save the best parts till the end. So what we have got over here is some more of the little skulls in hats, we'll call them. That's basically what they are. But this time I did them with a glow in the dark down the bottom here, and then a white in the middle and a black at the top. So a little bit different to these ones. And you can see also here there's a bit of a line where this was all glow in the dark, and then the white from above is kind of mixed in a little bit more than it did here with the clear. That's fine. I'm sure it will still look lovely. And this one, the same thing. So the white kind of comes down. They'll probably still glow in the dark fine though. We have also got a white-ish keyring that I did. This was just the end of the resin that I had. As you can see, there's a bit of a bit that we need to snip out or poke out or whatever up the top there. But that's fine. I can get round to that as well. This was just sort of leftovers. So we've got one of those. This is a new mould. I'd love to tell you where it came from. For the life of me, I can't remember, but I will find out, and I will leave a note in the description for you. Of course, if it's a lantern, it should glow in the dark, because all lanterns should glow in the dark for various different reasons. Now, you could probably just about see on there, there is a moon. If I get the light right, you see that? There's a moon, and then there's kind of a bottle. There's some swirly stuff going on. You can kind of see it quite easily on the thing that's come out. I'm assuming that this is so you can kind of put a hole in the top and hang it quite sweetly from something. I don't know why. I thought it was just cute. But yeah, so I have a little hanging lantern just there. We also have some more of these that I made. Now, the earrings that I made first were a little bit... I clearly used the wrong colour to make them. So this time I've gone for a black, because I can ink these with white, and that'll be quite a nice contrast, or I can ink them in pink, or any other thing that I think of really, or maybe pink. Yeah, maybe pink would look quite nice. But you can see there, the 8 is on the front and the 20 is on there, but it's at the top. And then I did this in black and white with a little bit of glow in the dark in the middle, because why not? And that looks pretty cool. Whereas when I did it in the, just grab that from there. When I did it in the purple and green, it wasn't as apparent. So, so I was trying to get the black in the middle and the white here and this glow in the dark. It, you know, the colours, they kind of bleed into each other a little bit. I wasn't trying to go for just such a distinct separation. It's not a mistake. It wasn't that, you know, I didn't want any of the black creeping in there. I was just trying to keep it kind of in the middle, but, you know, resin kind of does what it wants. And actually, I'm not unhappy with the way it looks. yeah, and we've got this sort of, I think these are flowers at the bottom here. You can see kind of flowers at the edges and the sides there, but they still come out pretty nice. I still like that. And if we move these things, I will have a look and see what dice we have coming out. So here you can see we have the chonky chonk mould, and we have the Druid dice mould, the round one with the Advantage D20s in it and the Crystal D4. So let's have a look at the chonky chonks first. Get this peeled up here gently. So what did we do in here? What did we do in here? Let's try to remember. So we have got black and a little bit of pearlescent white, similar to what we did in here, in one of these. And then we also have in there some glitter. So there's, oh yeah, I remember what glitter this was. This is a fantastic glitter that I got from Supplier Studio, maybe? I think so. Suppliers Are Us Studio, even. These guys, these lovely guys, check them out. They're on Etsy and stuff. And this is the glitter. This is just insane. Look at that. This is like, it's like a unicorn party in a bag, or a unicorn party bag, if you like. Yeah. So Suppliers Studio. They are over on Etsy. They have Instagram by the look of it too. Check them out. They always give you little freebies, and these are the last few bits that I got from them. I haven't used them all yet, but you know, there's only a limited amount of stuff you can do at one time. So let's just try and get this guy out. Oop. Come on, there we go. So this one has got very similar stuff in to the last one. It's got some of this curled up in there. It has got some ice flakes, wherever they came from. It's got some flower soft in there. It's got some glitter in there. And to be honest, if it didn't have the curly up stuff, you probably wouldn't be able to tell. I actually quite like the colour that it's come out. It's kind of bluey looking. You can see little areas where the flower soft is kind of in there too. Actually really quite like that. It's quite mad looking. Don't know what colour I'll link that. Maybe black. Maybe I will go for the black. But it's pretty cool. I like it. And then this one here is a black and a grey and clear. Maybe with some ice flaky stuff going on. Yeah. Whoa. Actually, yes. Actually, yes. So, not just some ice flakes. There's more than that. So we've got one side, we've got silvery, well actually it was the same colour, so this pearlescent white down one side, then we've got black in the middle, then we've got glitter this end, and then there's a gap in the middle with this kind of break with some clear, and then there's more glitter. I actually really quite like how that glitter's spread out. It's not all clumped up in one place. There are some areas that are sort of free of glitter, but actually it makes for an interesting die. I like that. Again, it's going to be pretty tricky to ink. Maybe requires some thought on that one. But actually these will be a bit easier to finish up using the old pottery wheel over there. Once I've got rid of this flashing here. And we'll be able to do that off camera quite quickly. But they're coming out quite nice. So we have some nice looking chonkies over here. There we go, let's just pop them up there for now. And then we're using our Druid dice mould. Now you could probably already tell the sort of colours that are in here. I was going to go for sparkly again, and I thought, do you know what? Actually had this really cool looking sunrise in the morning, well yesterday morning now, and things have been a bit bleh, you know, life wise and stuff, so I was like, why don't I make some sort of sunny dice? Now these might just end up looking like pieces of Satsuma, who knows, but I thought I would attempt to recreate some sunshine in a dice, because, you know, why not? And I have some really cool dice from Dice Bound that are sort of yellowy. Not the sort of dice I would necessarily have bought either, intentionally, but they were a, you know, I could have a mystery set as part of my Kickstarter, so I went for a mystery set, and subsequently I have the soul set, and they are gorgeous. They are so cool, and they roll really well most of the time. So yeah, so I thought I'd go for something a bit more sunny, but it was a bit cloudy as well, so I wanted to get some of the pearlescent white in there. So I've got some yellow, some orange, some pearlescent white going on. They're not quite as yellow as that on the screen. It's because of the light. And they're not quite as orange as that either. Maybe once we've got the set out on the table, it will look a bit different. But these are actually quite pretty. They are swirly pearly, and I actually really like the colours. So these are a combination of alcohol inks and mica powder. The mica, so I did the mica in two different ways with this. I put some in a little tub and I applied just mica powder into some areas of the dice. So you can see down here on the 20 you've got more here. Then what I did was I mixed some yellow some yellow alcohol ink with just resin together. Swirled that about a little bit to make yellow resin basically. Poured some of that in as well, and then added a little bit of orange into that to make it a little bit darker. Poured some of that in, and then into all of that I then also added a little bit of the swirly mica as well to give it a different sort of texture going on. So we've got some bits that are more pearlescent than others, and some bits are a little bit more fadey, some bits are a bit more yellow, some bits are a bit more orangey. So there's some nice contrasty bits. I like the separation in this one particularly. It just doesn't come out great on the camera there. What about now? What about if I shade it? No, not really. Come down here. No, can't really see. But you'll just have to trust me on this one. There is some orangey bits and some more yellow bits going on there, which I quite like. They're very cute looking set. I don't know which character they'd be for, I suppose. A lot of people buy a particular colour dice because they're thinking of a particular character. So, you know, like red and black sometimes for a caster, or you know, maybe sort of, I don't know, I always associate pink with paladins, but I don't think pink and paladin necessarily goes together. I don't know who would use yellow. Maybe like a cleric, perhaps, a saloon cleric, or probably not a drow. They're a bit sunny for a drow, but actually we'll get some nice pictures of these up. They're actually really pretty colours. I'm not sure that I would use them in these colours. They are a little bit tangerine segmenty, but I actually really like how the colours are blended together and come out. And inking them is going to be quite fun. I might go for a pale kind of peachy colour. I think might look quite nice. I think it would be obvious enough, but pale peachy might be quite an interesting colour to go on there. So that's actually it for today. We don't have a huge amount in the pot today. We had just a few bits, one set, a couple of chonks, and some math rocks things. So with that, I shall let you guys get back to whatever it is that you guys will be doing at the moment, probably wrapping gifts or whatever, eating sausages and all that. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope you liked seeing the things that we made. If you have suggestions about things that you think would be cool to put in a dice, or other weird and wonderful things that you find around the house that you think, I wonder what that would look like in a dice, let me know down in the comments, and we can certainly see what it does look like in a dice. Let's have a bit of an experiment. Equally, if you have suggestions about things that you think might look cool to ink these in, let me know. Of course, appreciate all your likes, your comments, your follows, and if you want to hear more crazy ramblings from me and see weird sets of dice that I've made in the future, make sure you press the bell to get notified when I upload new content. It might be a little bit slower at the moment with winter and all that, but we're definitely going to get back to it as the weather warms up. So thank you for sticking with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.